We did see some younger people coming down the hill on this road with their snowboards, so they're going up there and skiing, even though there's just a little bit. And it is end of July, so that's pretty interesting. There's still snow on there. There's probably always snow. Beautiful. Goodbye, Mount Hood. It's time for our next adventure. That Mount Rainier would be on our path. I knew it was near Yakima, but I didn't know that we'd see it so nicely like this. Bonus shot. I could see where you could use an airplane runway on your property, because this is like out in the middle of nowhere. Not nowhere, but far away from like Portland, an hour, 20 minutes or so, or any major city. If you're a business person or you need to get into the city, I can see where you have your own little private plane or helicopter. Some people belong to clubs, so they share the plane. That's probably a more affordable thing to do, especially if you don't use the plane all the time. Kind of like in Florida where you could share a boat. Freedom Club, it's called, where you can rent a boat, you can belong to the club, and then they get it ready for you, so you just take the boat out when you want it. They have something like that for planes.
Take the exit on the right to I-84 east toward the Dells. In 1,000 feet, take the ramp.
It all points right to that.
Seen any bridges crossing this river, which is kind of unusual, and we noticed how brown and no trees. Where'd they all go? Not sure what happened. Are we in Washington yet?
Nope.
We're still on Oregon side, but this looks completely different from where we were with the trees. It's just dry, and you have the river here. Very interesting.
I set myself aside, lead the way on this trial. If you don't know the way, we can stop and make a change.
Turn left onto US 97 North.
Losing hope, fading love. This night will be okay. Waking up to another day.
Lots of windmills. Do you think this bridge will have a sign showing Washington?
We're about to cross.
I think we're crossing the border. Let's see if I see a sign. I don't see a sign. But this should be Washington.
We're in Washington.
Yeah, because that's the river, and right down the middle, this side, is Washington. And that's strange. You'd think they'd have a big old sign saying, "Welcome to Washington." A lot of wine tasting I saw in Oregon, and I see it's here as well. Been trying to catch pictures of signs every time we enter a new state. I think we've done it, except for this one. Look how pretty it is there. There's a vineyard down there. And that's the river, and Oregon's on the other side of the river. Beautiful. Must be Mount Rainier. There's a scenic view stop, so we'll do that. Why did my camera just get dark? There's Mount Rainier, I believe. Looks very similar to Mount Hood. And there should be a scenic stop up here somewhere. Check that out. Have any of you ever climbed any of these? Kids and Rick are all getting pictures as well. Don't forget our Instagram accounts and other accounts are in the description box below if you want to check out all our photos. Well, not all of them. A lot of them will go up to Fine Arts America or Shutterstock or one of those other stock photos, but a lot of them go up on Instagram so you can see where we are. As you can see, it's super dry out there. We're on our way from Mount Hood, which was really green, and snow on Mount Hood, and it was green. And now it's weird on the way to Yakima, Washington, where, well, we kind of passed Mount Rainier. Do you think we're going to get better pictures? I think we'll get better pictures of Mount Rainier, but it's all dry. I don't see any trees. I see some brush. So that's kind of weird. I wonder why that is. It's like trees, and then boom, it stopped, and no trees. Very strange. So let me turn this around. It's like, and there's a lake or something out there. Wow. You see how dry it is all the way up here? But then, is that a shadow or is it green down there?
It's green.
Oh, maybe because any water that flowed downhill into the valley. It's a little green out there. I'm not sure what town that is. We're probably about 20 miles away from Yakima. I'm not sure what other towns there are before we get there, if any. I have no internet connection or phone service at all where I am right now, but I can record.
I wanna go there someday. I know we're going somewhere into the danger zone.
Hoppinish. It says, where the West still lives. Stopped at Dairy Queen for the kids. Is it Dairy Queen? So we stopped at Dairy Queen for the kids and they got blizzards. But I'm looking over here, and when was the last time you saw a telephone booth? I haven't seen one in years. Let me turn the camera around. I'm not supposed to eat dairy. I wish I could eat ice cream. I do eat lactate ice cream, but it's only vanilla or chocolate. I need chocolate chip mint. Lactate. I even wrote to the company. They still don't have it. And don't tell me about soy or the other options. I can't really eat soy either. My belly doesn't like soy. And all the others, it's just not the same as ice cream. Love ice cream. Can't have it. Showing the telephone booth to the kids, because have you ever seen any, Noah? You've seen one, Willow, before? You don't see it very often. It even has a telephone book, but I don't know if there's a telephone in there. You don't see a telephone? I wonder if it was ripped out. But anyways, I thought it was funny that it was sitting there. It's like mailboxes. You don't see them very often anymore on corners. When we were kids, they were on every corner. I find this town, Yakima, Washington, very interesting. It looks like it's a old town. I didn't get to show you the downtown, but it looks like it must have been around, I'll have to look it up, maybe 1800s?
1885.
Oh, 1885, I was right. And then it looked like maybe it went downhill, but now it looks like there's a lot of new places, new businesses, even Pepsi's here. New Holiday Inn Express, Howard Johnson's, new hotels. So it looks like an old town that's being revitalized, which is so nice to see. No more, I can't do it. In the middle of the mountains and not a lot of cities, so it's nice to have a city growing like this for the people and the economy. I like to see when towns grow because it creates jobs. We're all learning as we travel. What we didn't expect for Washington to be, what temperature again? 90 something?
It's 101.
It's 101 degrees. I can't believe it. There must be a heat wave. And you saw me wearing my hat up in Mount Hood. It was, a little chilly except for the last day. Yesterday was warming up. So there must be a heat wave around the country. And with traveling, I haven't had much opportunity. Well, matter of fact, in the cabin, I didn't even have TV all week, so I really don't know what's going on. And the internet was not really there, so I'm kind of behind on what's happening in the world and with the weather, but I think it's hot everywhere. So goodbye, Yakima, Washington. Beautiful little town. Actually, it's not so little.
It all points right to that.
I was just saying how dry Washington is, except I see green below. That's through like what looked like desert, but I gotta say it has its own beauty. Wide open spaces. It might be only brush over there, but it's funny how down in the valley, water must get down there from all these hills and goes downhill. And I do see that they irrigate, but that's probably where they get most of the water, from the mountains that go downhill. But it's so different than what I saw on the internet. If we had not made this trip, we would never have known this is what our country looks like. And it's so different in different places, and you travel a couple hours and it changes as you go. Truly spectacular. It's a beautiful country. So wherever you live, I'm sure there's a beautiful spot for you to enjoy. Sometimes we have to look with fresh eyes where we live and what beauty it has to offer. Sometimes people live in one area for years and years and they really don't appreciate their surroundings because you grew up with it. You've seen it over and over and over again. But if you look at it in the eyes of a traveler or tourist or a young baby, small child, it's new and exciting. Be amazed how many parks and other things that are in your area that you may not even know about. So just do a little Google research. I see there's a lot of wineries here that we passed up, and now I see where the wine's coming from. And there's all kinds of fruit down there. We passed a couple of produce shops with cherries. What else did they have? Peaches, apples. Look at that valley, that's beautiful. I think this is called Horse Mountain, I'm not sure.
I set myself aside, lead the way on this trial. If you don't know the way, we can stop and make a change. I know